What is going on, Alpha Hunters? It is a very terrific Thursday today on the markets. And one reason why it's terrific is, well, the market is up 1.3%. Ooh, we did gap up a little bit over 1% there on the SPY. And all that was most of that was kind of attributed to the jobs data that we did get this morning, initial jobless claims that is, came in at 227K. All right, forecast is calling for 235K. Prior week was 234K. So there you go. That's kind of how it's been. So we had that spike about 2 weeks ago, and we have come down the past 2 weeks. So there you go. That's kind of how it looks. Kind of the lower end of this uptrend that we've been in. So we'll see how it comes in next week. Yeah, continuing to drop off there. Let's see what's going on today. SPY looking pretty good there. Kind of just sideways there first 30 minutes, waiting for some support. Moving averages to come up. Nice little run past hour. Looking pretty good. All right. Qs. Nice run. This is where a lot of the bullishness is kind of coming in today. Nice gap up. Nice run there on the Qs. See, the Qs did gap up about like 1.5%, I think. Maybe even more. 1.25% is what the Qs wound up gapping up. So looking pretty good there on the Qs. IWM currently up 2.5%. They had a pretty monstrous gap up. I believe it was like 2%, a little bit over 2%. Yeah, 2.25% pretty much there on the gap up there on the IWM. You can see a nice little pullback into the moving averages and then bouncing pretty good here over the past 45 minutes. Looking pretty good. DIA, nice gap up, pullback, slowly pushing higher. All right, up a little bit over 1% there. RSP is up about 1.1%. Nice gap up, pullback, continuing to kind of slowly push higher, kind of like the DIA. So the RSP on the daily, pretty good gap here. Yeah, pretty good gap. We have definitely been just absolutely steamrolling higher over the past week and a half, ever since last Monday's open, when we had that big gap down, and people just continued to buy it up. And there you go. I mean, if it works, right? I would imagine you're probably going to be seeing some kind of pullback-ish soon. And that was, a scenario that we kind of talked about. Like, hey, if we obviously want to make it through all the moving averages, we clear out and get above a lot of them, especially on the Qs and SPY. Yeah, you can see the IWMs even getting through theirs, where it's kind of struggled here the past week. But yeah, you can see the Qs. If it gets through all this, even if you were selling, on a potentially this retest area for maybe potentially a rollover, just say, hey, I'm going to get out of positions. It's fine. Just let it clear out. Look for the pullback, and you get in basically about where you, got out of, right? You can get in on the pullback. You won't, it'd be a small risk. It'd be a small risk, maybe do that compared to the possibility of rolling back over. That is going to be the question now, is have we gone far enough to where it's going to break a lot of people looking to be bearish? It's a pretty good case. Big question here is for how much the Qs kind of sold off from mid-July to the beginning of August. Will we have will that be the leadership kind of going forward? Obviously, there was the leadership going down. It was the Qs have been struggle busting really since kind of like late Q1. They really haven't been doing all that well. So, yeah, be patient. You don't have to be hopping in right now. We do have a pretty good gap on the markets on Thursday. So yeah, just take your time. Find the things that are quality. No rush. The market will still be here next week, the week after that, and all that. Anyways, it's kind of the way things look. I think you will definitely be seeing people buy in on any kind of dips that we get here, pullbacks over the next week or two or anything like that. So yeah, that probably makes a lot of sense, especially in tech area. VIX is continuing to fall off 17 definitely didn't hold. Look at this. I mean, this drop is crazy on the VIX. So we had that spike up like 2 weeks ago on that Monday open, and we were climbing up through that 17, getting into the 20 level, even the week before on that Friday. So yeah, we had that crazy spike up, and man, we just came slicing right through all of it, and we're getting back down to the low teen area already. Just kind of crazy how quickly this has moved. DXY. One of the things that kind of talked about yesterday was for how much we kind of dropped off there on Tuesday. Yesterday we didn't break through this early August low, so it kind of seems like maybe we're just setting up choppy. Nice bounce this morning. See how this thing ends today. Obviously, we got the strong bounce when we got the jobs data, and we have continued to fade there as we checked into that 10 EMA coming down. Seems like we're just going to be in a choppy kind of pattern here for a period of time. Be curious to see if we wind up pushing higher. The fact that we did not break that early August low kind of says that we might see a little bit higher retest maybe going forward here over the next few weeks. GLD up, dollar's also up, so that's kind of an interesting little dynamic there. But this thing is getting small in here. It's getting kind of small. I think we'll be seeing gold pushing higher here pretty soon. 10-year yield. Yep, 10-year yield bouncing again. Look at this little morning star reversal right here over the past 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Most likely it'll probably hold on the bullish. Kind of engulfing over Tuesday. So that looks pretty good to see yields probably go back higher, which would be another false breakdown from this like 4% level as we broke it down back in December, got back above it, went on a nice little run. So that's kind of like my early hunch on this 4% 10-year yield level. Yeah, other than that, let's see how the 2-year responded. Ooh, 2-year moving higher, putting in the highs of the week today. Getting above Monday there. Okay. 30-year bounced pretty good today. It did not get above that high that we had late last week, obviously, but it did check into that 10 EMA. Looks like we do have a kind of a bullish engulfing. We have a bullish engulfing over yesterday. Let's see if we get a bullish engulfing over the 2 previous days. Kind of like how the 10-year has that Morningstar reversal. Yeah, it'd be interesting. 10-2 inversion. Yeah, let's take a look at this. We got some pretty good movement there on the yield curve. Yeah, pretty interesting spot. This has been the previous highs over the past year of kind of trading activity. So it's a pretty interesting spot for us to see what happens. Are we going to just roll right back over? Yeah, who knows? We'll see. All right, HYG, high yield corporate bonds. It did take out this high from late July. Yeah, it did take out that high from late July. Barely, just barely. So, that's all I got. It is really struggle busting to get through this 7850 level. Okay. LQD, nice little gap down. Yeah, most of the yields are all up, so bonds should be down a little bit. But LQD down a little bit today off that nice strong move yesterday. TLT. Nice drop off today. Yeah, bonds are just so interesting right now, man. They're just so interesting. Because we saw that huge rush into risk protection end of July, beginning of August. And then, you look at the HYG. HYG is kind of back to leading here over the past week. So it's like, now we're back into risk on mode. So it's like, man, things are just flip-flopping so rapidly here recently. It's like, I want to see some things calm down. Just a little bit, man. All right, as far as sector rotation on the day, discretionaries, XLY leading the day, as well as tech also leading the day. Energies, industrials, and materials all outperforming. Financials, staples, and communications underperforming. Healthcare underperforming. Real estate and utilities at the lower end of the day. This will be the interesting one. If you take out the gap, how are things performing during the day? And you see tech definitely performing the best during the day. XLK there. Discretionary is also doing pretty well. Energies over the past 30 minutes or so doing pretty well. Okay. Utilities underperforming. Materials, industrials, communications underperforming. Real estate, financials, healthcare, staples at the lower end of the day. So yeah, that risk on. Everybody's going back into the risky names, which is kind of interesting because we just came out of tech earnings season, right? We just came out of the tech earnings season, and it wasn't like they did the best, but people are getting back into those areas. And here's just a quick look at how sector rotation kind of looks for the week. You can see all the money been flowing basically back into tech.